It's officially Victory Monday. We got a lot to talk about. How we doing, Niner fans? We're live here on Instagram. We're live here on YouTube. Let's get going. Let's crack it, shall we? Niners got a victory yesterday. They won. They beat the Chicago Bears 38-13. It's a great day in the neighborhood when the 49ers win. Mondays are great. I know everybody's saying, oh, it's the Bears, the Bears. It doesn't matter. At this point in the season, you need to win games. Bottom line, December football, that's when it matters. The Niners still have an outside chance, and they dominated the Bears, and that's what the main thing was. The Niners, they won in a fashion that they needed to win. They came out, and it was one of those, just satisfying victories. It was one of those games where you're like, okay, it needed to go out and make a statement, and they made a statement. So let's go talk about it. Let's talk about the game. Obviously, we talked about it last night, but we'll talk a little bit more. Let's talk about Deebo Samule. He made a big tweet today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about injury updates. It's Victory Monday, and I'm feeling so good. I'm so hyped up. Dre Greenlaw's probably going to be coming back on Thursday as long as there's no setbacks this week in practice. What's up, my boy, with Philly, A.J. Brown and Hurts? Did you hear that? There's beef between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. There's beef everywhere. People are not happy, but at the end of the day, let's talk about the Niners. We'll talk about that a little later. Let's get to these injury reports today. So, first and foremost, Kyle Shanahan met with, obviously, the media on a conference call, and Isaac Guerrero, the MRI came back. He did sprain his foot. They don't know if he's going to be able to play on Thursday. They're going to check it out as practice goes this week, right? Where they have to keep an eye on everything. He's probably going to be limited, but he did sprain his foot, and there's no exact availability status yet. We're going to just have to wait. Thursday night football is just a few days away. I don't know if he's going to play. We need him to play. Isaac Guerrero had a fantastic game yesterday. This man came in. He had 50 yards receiving. He had 70 yards rushing. He had 2 touchdowns. He was all over the place, and he just came in, and he was speed demon. We needed that. Ran like Raheem Mostert, so I hope he can play. If not, Patrick Taylor, next man up. You know, Niners have been going through big-time injuries all year. It's nothing new, but he did sprain his foot. There is a chance for him to play on Thursday. He's got to see how these next couple of days go. So, I don't know. I just hope that the Isaac Guerrero could play. I mean, the good news is he avoided like a major injury, but I can't imagine you played Sunday, you sprain your foot, and then Thursday comes. It's a quick turnaround. Will he be able to play on Thursday? That's the question, right? So we shall see if he can play. So the next update was, this one was tough because Ben Barch has been playing so good. Unfortunately, he has a high ankle sprain, and he's probably going to go on the injured reserve. Like the 49ers in high ankle sprains, they go back together like horse and carriage from 2020. You remember that season? Everybody and on this team had a high ankle sprain, and now here we are again. Ben Barch, a high ankle sprain, and he was playing really good. I feel bad for this guy. He just hasn't really hit his stride in the NFL because of injuries. He's a good player. He had surgery a couple years ago, and then the 49ers kept him. They developed him, and now he was playing really well for Aaron Banks, but unfortunately for him, high ankle sprain, he's going on the IR. The good news is Aaron Banks is coming back. He passed the concussion protocol. Must have been a hell of a concussion, so, you know, it kept him out a few games. But Aaron Banks will be back at left guard. Yeah, that's good news. That is good. So, sucks for Barch. Good for Aaron Banks that he'll be back now. Trent Williams and Nick Bosa, they're going to be evaluated over the next couple of days. Obviously, Trent has the ankle sprain. Nick Bosa has the oblique injury. It's pretty much the same thing over the last couple of weeks that both of these guys haven't been able to play. Last night, both sides of the ball, offensive line, defensive line, played really well. So, I mean, they didn't need both of them. But if they're going to go on a run and make a big stretch, winning streak, you need Nick Bosa. You need Trent Williams. Trent Williams is going through more than just, the ankle injury. So I don't even know if he's going to come back and play football the rest of the season. And I wouldn't forget, I wouldn't be mad if he didn't. I mean, he lost, a child. That's unfortunate for him. That's just sad news. This year's been rough, with not just injuries, but personal tragedies for the 49ers who fought, Ricky Pearsall, Mooney Ward, and now, Trent Williams. So it's tough, man. I don't know. Some things are definitely bigger than football. They got life going on, and then that kind of takes precedence. So I don't know if Trent's going to be able to play. But Nick Bosa, he was doubtful last week, so I feel like he got a little bit better with the oblique, but it's a pain management type thing. So we'll see. Hopefully, Bosa can play. They need him. Although the defensive line really stepped up. Leonard Floyd, he played great. Yatur Gross-Matos had a lot of coverage sacks. So we'll see. But we'll wait till practice the rest of this week. But they will monitor Nick Bosa and Trent Williams, and they're going to be evaluated over the next couple of days. Brock Purdy, the glorious King Brock Purdy, he has no lingering issues from the roughing the passer play on Sunday. We all saw that play where his head, I was so stressed out. I was like, oh my God. It looked like they were trying to decapitate Brock Purdy. But according to Kyle Shanahan, no effects. He's cool. He has a clean slate of health, and Brock Purdy is good to go. So no injuries, no whiplash, no neck issues. That was definitely good news there. Dre Greenlaw, he has a chance to make his 2024 debut Thursday night, as long as he has no setbacks this week during practice. So good news for Dre. He's probably back on Thursday. That energy is needed. Big Dre Greenlaw has been fantastic when he has played. The Niners have missed his energy. Fred Warner's missed his energy. You saw Fred Warner light up like a Christmas tree when they asked him about, the fact that, Fred Warner or Dre Greenlaw is going to come back on Thursday. And he was like, I've been waiting for this my whole season. So yeah, the energy is there. Dre Greenlaw will most likely be back Thursday night, as long as he has no issues this week in practice. So we definitely need that. Yeah, I'm happy Brock is okay as well. A couple more updates. Malik Mustafa, he had a chest injury. He's day-to-day. And D. Winner's ankle is day-to-day. So 2 young players on the defense, day-to-day. That's tough. Mustafa took a deep shot yesterday. D. Winners rolled that ankle yesterday. So hopefully they can play short week. A lot of players are banged up, but you got to ice up and give it your best. Now, the 49ers did have a meeting on Saturday, a team meeting, and yesterday, Juwan Jennings talked about it. He said that Deebo spoke, Deommodore Lenoir, Brock Purdy, and George Kittle. Obviously, George Kittle would speak. Deebo would. He's a veteran. He's one of the captains. But Brock Purdy, obviously, he's also a young captain. And Deommodore Lenoir, young leader. I like that he stepped up. Kyle Shanahan mentioned today in his press conference that Brock Purdy and Deommodore Lenoir were asked to speak Saturday night because he knows how much the team respects both of them on and off the field. So shout out to Brock. Shout out to Deommodore Lenoir, 2 young kings on this team. And good to see them get some recognition from Kyle, the coaches, the players. Like, they wanted those guys to speak because they are young leaders. Like, that tells you so much about both of them. Brock Purdy, he's a vocal leader of this team, a captain. And Deommodore Lenoir, man, he's a young buck. He got his money this year. And the teams look up to Lenoir, man. That's pretty cool. He's come a long way. So shout out to both of those guys. It was cool to hear that story. And now the story of the day. Oh, my God. Did you guys see Deebo Samuel? Deebo Samuel's not happy about his role. He tweeted out. We saw it. He says, no, I'm not struggling at all. I'm just not getting the ball. At least he brought us a little bit of a bar. Yeah, so Deebo's upset. He wants the ball. He's a little, any wide receiver, right? Remember Keyshawn Johnson? Throw me the damn ball. I need the ball. I need the ball. That's what a wide receiver is supposed to do. Call out for the ball. And I a lot of people are mad at Deebo. A lot of people are saying, you're not separating. You're not getting open, this, that, the other. At least he's saying, like, yo, throw me the ball. Like, maybe he isn't doing great. There was a couple of stats. He's only had 5. He's only had more than 5 targets in a game since week 2 this season. So it's not like they are getting him the ball a lot. So to his credit, he's kind of right. But at the same time, when he does get opportunities, he's not making the most of them. He's not as explosive as he was. But to Deebo's credit, they aren't getting him the ball enough. In terms of high volume wide receiver 1, you're getting paid $23 million. I kind of see where he's coming. So now, Deebo, you're demanding the ball. I get it. You demand the ball. Now, after you said this, you better go out there on Thursday night and just be a dog. Go out there, be a dog. Go be a dog. Go out there. Do it. Put it out there. So, he also tweeted out that it's not a shot to anybody. It's not a shot to Brock Purdy or any of his teammates. He's just voicing his opinion. He's frustrated, right? He's frustrated. He has dropped some passes. My man C-Max says after a win, momentum builder like yesterday, he gets on the internet like a female. I mean, I get it. He shouldn't come out and just keep those thoughts to yourself. But I know he's frustrated. He's had a tough season. It hasn't gone like he wanted. He's getting a lot of people hating on him. He had to limit his comments on his Instagram post. Like, he's frustrated. He's mad. He's played through injuries. He's put this team on his back before, and I feel like he thinks people are turned on him. But to the other side of that coin is, hey, look, you're getting paid $23 million. Go out there and perform. Go out there and be a baller. So I see both sides of it. And at the end of the day, Deebo, if he just wants these people to quiet down and he wants the critics to quiet down, you got to go out there and perform. You got to go out there and ball. If you get 2 targets, make the most of those 2 targets. Also, separate. Go get open. I think that's been an issue. He hasn't been able to get open, which has led to lower targets. So it's a combination of things. But I thought that was interesting today that he tweeted that out. I was like, wow, everybody's hyped up. The energy seems great. And then here comes Deebo saying, throw me the damn ball. Throw me the damn ball. Jesus says he's like ranked 609 million in wideouts. He is. He is ranked very low. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. But Kyle needs to cook him up. Get him the ball more. And if he's still doing bad, then we know the problem. But I think also Deebo knows his time might be limited with the Niners. He wants to make his name. He wants to put his name back out there. Stop getting his name dragged out. He's got a contract, he has to uphold. And also, what's to say the Niners don't just come to him this offseason and say, it's time to turn the page. It's time to move on from Deebo. Like, he knows whether or not he stays with the Niners next year, he needs to go out there and put some stats on the board. And I know he hasn't played good this year. He hasn't had a great year. So now he's going to say, throw me the ball. Because now if he gets the ball, the only thing he can do is perform. And if he does it, teams are going to look at him and say, we don't want that. So this is a point where Deebo has to really kick it into high gear. He has to perform. He has to dominate. He doesn't have much leg room here. He does have the contract. But again, the 49ers could go out there and say, hey, we got to rework some things because they have other players they have to, figure out. Brock Purdy, are they going to figure that contract out? And I know Ian Rappaport yesterday reported that Brock Purdy's a guy that they're going to try to look into and get a new contract extension done, and they're going to go look into it this offseason. I'm just going to throw this out there. They don't have to do it this offseason. I know that everybody thinks they have to. Like, the Niners still have him under contract next year in his rookie year deal. Now, I know the smart move to do is lock him up, but they theoretically, technically, they don't have to pay Brock Purdy next year, but I think they will. That's what everybody's looking towards, get the big contract, avoid having to keep letting the market raise. They don't have to pay him. But if they do pay him, there's players that are going to be out. There's the Kyle Juszczyk, there's a Greenlaw, there's Ufunga, there's Charvarius Ward, there's Deebo Samuel, George Kittle too. These guys' contracts, they're getting up there in age. Their contracts are kind of at the point where they might have to move things around. They did it with Armstead last year. So nobody's safe. It's a business. I don't know. I think it's going to be a weird-looking team in the next year or two. So we'll see. So Deebo knows pressure's on him as well. He has to go out there and perform. He's a little frustrated. He's a little upset. He wants the ball, and he wants to perform so he can prove he can make some money, whether it's with the Niners or not. So I don't know. It's tough. It's crazy. You can't imagine losing Kittle. I can't either, but you never know. You never know. You never know. Have I ever thought of doing something with Greg Papa? Yeah, actually, I did something with him this year. We did a show at the Plex. We filmed some content. It was cool, man. But definitely think we might do something bigger and better next year when the opportunities come. But yeah, I love Greg Papa. Kittle a Niner for life? He probably will be. But I mean, you never know. You never know. If he doesn't retire a Niner, I'm gonna be crying, man. But these are questions, right? Like, will they have to move his contract? Will they have to, will they give Kittle an extension? Will they give him, that option of restructuring? Who knows? There's a lot of questions that are going to happen this offseason. And one of them is definitely going to be a Deebo Samuel type situation. I don't know. Kittle will retire a Niner. He most likely will. I really hope he does. You can't let that man go. I agree. The last thing the 49ers front office want to do is drag out Brock's contract extension, like what happened with BA, Trent. Yeah, honestly, I think that they need to get it done quicker than they've ever done. They got to get it just done. Nip it in the bud. They need to get that contract. If they're going to absolutely pay him this offseason, they can't let it linger. We know that. We know that you let these contracts linger. It's stressful. It's frustrating. It really kills the morale of a team. locker room gets upset and, the fans start getting crazy. And then the player doesn't show up to training camp and then they're rusty and then they have a bad season and then they get hurt and just it's like a multitude of factors. So absolutely. I think the Niners are learning that, obviously Deommodore Lenoir was a big time contract they signed and it was mid-season. So that was surprising they did that. And I think they're learning their lesson. But at the same time, it's not always up to the Niners. It's always up to, sometimes the agents dictate how these things go. So, yeah, I hope they get Brock Purdy's contract done sooner rather than later. So, but then the question is, how much? How much do you pay him? Do you pay him 60 because he's better than Dak and he, it's the market value, or do you pay him closer to like Tua and Trevor Lawrence, or do you pay him less than that just because he's the, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft, but he's proven he's good. That's the big question. How much is Brock Purdy worth? So he definitely does deserve a good contract. So we'll see. Let's see. Another question is, will the 49ers make the playoffs? They got a 5% chance to make the NFC, to win the NFC West. They got a 3% chance to make the playoffs overall. Now, if they keep winning, obviously that number goes up. If the 49ers win out, it's 59% chance to win the Super Bowl or make the playoffs, which is a chance to make the Super Bowl. So, Julia says, Kittle called out the fact that he didn't get the ball, got the ball, and was cooking. Same result will occur for Deebo. I like this. I like that take. Like last week, George Kittle said, I don't know why I'm not getting the ball. I'm open. He says, give me the ball. And it worked. They got him the ball. And look what he did. He went crazy. He went 150 yards. He's nominated for the NFL FedEx Air Player of the Week. Deebo Samule did it a little differently. I mean, he tweeted it out. He didn't say it in a press conference. George Kittle had a whole press conference where he he said it in such a nice way. Deebo said, yo, just throw me the damn ball. He said it a little differently, but it was the same point. I kind of agree with that. He said, hey, not getting the ball. Throw me the ball. George Kittle last week. I don't know. I'm not getting the ball. I'm open. Come give me the ball. And he got the ball. So I kind of like that take. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm defending Deebo. I'm not going to say I'm not defending him. At the end of the day, I see it both ways, and I think that's a good take. Last week, Kittle said, give me the ball, and he got the ball. So we can't be too critical of Deebo, right? Because he's saying the same thing that Kittle said, but he's saying it in a different type of way. And I think the way that Deebo's played this year, I think that's what people are frustrated because he hasn't produced. Now, George Kittle, on the other hand, he's been probably team MVP this season. If you ask me, George Kittle is like the guy. He's the MVP of this team. Like he has put this team on his back. So. Alex says, what do I think about Deebo's fit though? I like Deebo's fits, man. People criticize him. I think he's got his own fashion sense. All these players got different fashion sense. I'm not gonna judge how a man dresses. You know what I mean? Let him do what he got to do. It's just self-expression. The way you dress is how you express yourself, man. That's it. Bottom line. JJ honorable mention. Yeah, JJ honorable mention. He's co-MVP. If I got to say who are the two MVPs of this offense, it's George Kittle and Juwan Jennings. Those two guys are absolute dogs. Tej says, if we want to win, share that money. Don't overpay Brock. Tom Brady type treatment. I hope he takes a little discount. He should. I agree with that. Will Greenlaw be back to linebacker too? I would be surprised if he wasn't. But also, too, I could see them saying, let's ease him in a little bit. But Hufanga came back, and he got his spot. I think this team knows they need Dre Greenlaw. And one of the things about Hufanga, it wasn't just him being out there. It wasn't just coverage. It was like Hufanga's not the greatest coverage safety in the world, but he's a good leader. He's a good communicator. Like he's kind of like Fred Warner out there where he tells people where to line up. He'll tell the secondary, like they're looking at him. These guys don't know what they're doing if you don't have Hufanga out there. Gibson's talked about how smart he is. Tashawn Gibson's mentioned that before in interviews and vice versa. Like Hufanga says he learned so much from Gibson and his, mentorship through the years. That's why they were such a close duo. And I think that's what the problem is with these younger safeties. I think Mustafa's going to be really good. But Jair Brown, man, the guy he doesn't have the IQ. He doesn't have the instincts. That's the one thing that I think Hufanga's always been able to lean on is those instincts. Like he might not be the fastest out there. He may not be the quickest out there, but he can freaking sense what's going on. And that's why you keep a guy like Hufanga on this team. And that's why I think Greenlaw, same thing. He's got the instincts, and I think his ability to see the field, tell players where to be, is why they need him. And his energy. Like, this guy's just hyped up. It's like he takes like 20 monster drinks the moment he wakes up, and he's like, so much energy. He's a bully, man. He's a bully, and teams are afraid to play him. He's got, like, he'll get flags. He'll be hitting you in the mouth. He'll go out there and hit Dom in the face, and he'll get in his mouth. He'll get in your grill. He'll suplex you. And yeah, sometimes it's like, oh my God, what'd you do that, Dre? Why are you crashing out? Why are you costing us 10 yards here and there? But then when he does it, it messes up the other team. And people are like, I don't want to run against Green. I don't want to go over the middle. I don't want to go up against Greenlaw. And in the long run, that toughness is what, helps this Niner defense. And teams are, Niner defense is great. I don't want to play up against Crash Out King Dre Greenlaw. He's a game changer. Now the question is, who's going to be that third linebacker? Devondre Campbell? D. Winters? D. Winters he's got an ankle injury. Devondre Campbell? I hope not. But he played good last game. He's playing a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. Oh, we'll see. He brings that energy. Absolutely right. You know who else brings energy? Real quick, before we keep going, I got to acknowledge my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I got to acknowledge real quick. Let's take a break from the 49ers. I was hyped up today. So I tweeted out. I saw that this morning. Roman Reigns, he tweets out to the Pittsburgh Steelers were like, acknowledge us. They made some meme, right? With CM Punk and Roman Reigns, like, acknowledge us. Roman Reigns tweets it, and he's like, Niner gang. Like, what? I don't want to talk about the Steelers. He's like, Niner gang. So we posted it. George Kittle even, he made a reply in it. So we posted it on Twitter. Didn't think anything of it. A couple hours ago, I checked my phone. I'm picking up my daughter from school. I checked my phone as I'm waiting, and I see Roman Reigns, and I see my tweet under it. I'm like, what is that, Roman? And I was like, it's got to be like a fan account. It's got to be a fake Roman Reigns account. Click on it. I was like, oh, it's the real kid. Bro, retweeted my post, and he said, Niner faithful. What a guy, man. That was pretty cool. So that was a cool moment for me. I thought that was cool. But anyways, let's get back to Niners. I had to talk about that because that was actually one of the coolest retweets I've ever gotten. I've gotten a lot of, cool engagement from players and stuff, but Roman Reigns retweet was crazy. That was crazy. I can't believe I had that much motion. I was hyped up. So shout out to Roman Reigns, the tribal chief. I acknowledge you. You're my OTC. But Niners, hey, the vibes are up. Things are looking good for this team. They're winning, and that solves a lot. When you win, it solves your problems. It makes things better, makes things clear. And I think the Niners can feed off this energy they had and keep it going. I know everybody's sitting there saying, oh, the Rams, they beat the Bills. Yeah, the Rams have been inconsistent this year. I'm not going to tell you that they're not good. I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to be a hard game because it will. All those things are true. I just feel the 49ers are playing with this sense of urgency. And if you watched the press conferences last night, George Kittle, that's what he talked about. He says, the team needs to play with grit. They need to have that urgency. That's what they did. They had a meeting on Saturday night. You know what happened? I heard through the grapevine that Kyle Shanahan, this is what he played him. Did you guys watch Steve Young a couple of days ago on KNBR? He says the 49ers lack the grit. They're just not tough anymore. That's crazy to hear because Steve Young is their biggest supporter. You know how much Steve Young loves this team? He's like the ambassador. Like out of all the old Niner players, maybe Jerry Rice a little bit also, but Steve Young loves this team. He believes in them so much. Like he talks so much about the 49ers. He talks great things about them. But when Steve Young, one of the best Niners of all time, when he doesn't believe you, when he questions your toughness, when he questions your grittiness, that wakes you up. So Kyle Shanahan played that clip for the players when they had their team meeting. And it woke them up. I think they realized, what do you mean I'm not tough? George Kittle, what do you mean I'm not tough? Fred Warner, what do you mean I'm not gritty? These Juwan Jennings, what do you mean I don't want to play with grit? Me? So I think that really helped this team. And that's the turning point. And I think the Niners are going to keep rolling because of that. You got the Rams, you win that game, and then guess what? You get a couple extra days rest. You get 3 extra days rest. Win that game. You're 7-7. And then you got the Miami Dolphins. You can beat them. And then the Lions. Everybody says the Lions are big, bad wolf. Oh, my God, the Lions. The Rams beat the Bills. Didn't see that one coming. Niners can beat the Lions. And then at the end of the season, the most, well, maybe not the most, because Niners have been pretty inconsistent. One of the most inconsistent teams in the league this year. Arizona Cardinals to finish the year. You can win that. The Niners can win out. They're gritty. They're tough. They're getting their toughness back. They're getting Dre Greenlaw back. They got Hufanga back. Hufanga played with a damn club on his hand, and he's trying to play for a contract. This team is gritty. They're going to get back. They're going to win. Believe it, baby. We're going to the playoffs. I had a dream. I had a vision. Niners, Vikings, wild card, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. I won't tell you how it ended, but I'll tell you that's what I saw. That was the vision. Niners are going to get this dub. And then they're going to get the next dub. And then the next one. And the next one. They're going to be 10-7. Somehow, some way, it's going to be a wild finish. We're going to be so hyped up. It's going to be crazy. And then the Niners are going to play the Vikings in the playoffs, first round. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Believe it. Believe it or not. That's my take. That's my vision. I'm keeping the faith. That's all I can do. I've seen too many people been negative. I've seen too many people bashing this team lately. I got to change it up, man. I was like, man, I kind of fell into that trap. But I believe in this team. I've seen these players. They're hungry. They're fighting, man. They've been through a lot. They've been through war. They've been through hell and back. They've been through a lot of NFC championships. They've been to the Super Bowl. And everybody wants to dog them. Oh, you didn't win. Oh, you choked. Oh, this. You didn't know the overtime rules. Yeah, all that stuff is true. But this team can fight, man. And they've been through a lot. And I believe in this team. And they got a lot of great young men. They got a lot of great veterans on this team. A lot of guys that have been through so much. Like, this year's been grueling for them in many ways. Like I said, Charvarius Ward, Trent Williams, man. Christian McCaffrey, he's had a tough offseason and a tough year. He tried to get back to full speed, and it didn't go his way. And it just Fred Warner, man, playing through the ankle injury. Ricky Pearsall got freaking shot in the chest, man. These guys have been through a lot, but they're still fighting. They still got a chance. And that's why I think this, I'm looking back at the season and, we've been overly critical. This team has fought through so much. And the fact that they're still has a chance to make the playoffs. They're 6-7, and they can just win out and make these plays. Like, I'm proud of these guys. I know it's crazy. And everybody's like dogging them all. Yeah, these guys suck. Like, you go on social media, you see fans of other teams, they're going to dog your team. They're going to dog the Niners and say, oh, they suck. I can't believe it. The fall off has been this and that. This guy sucks. Like, Nick Sorensen. I've been so critical of Nick Sorensen. His special teams is terrible. I've been one of the biggest critics of this team. But when I scale it all back and I look how much this team has been through, shit, man, the fact that they're still fighting and they still have a chance for playoffs says a lot about this team, man. And for Kyle Shanahan to say they don't have grit, that says a lot. When Steve Young doesn't believe in you, that says a lot. So I think that opened their eyes, and this team's ready to fight and win out, guys. They're going to go 10-7. Believe it. I hope I got you running through a brick wall, baby. To be fair enough, we have to get another kicker. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, after all that, they definitely need to fix that special teams, though. Special teams liability, for sure. Rate Moody's last game on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm going to give it a 1. That's bad. He can't even kick. Like, they was the announcers were dogging him when he was kicking on the kickoffs. Couldn't even get it into the kick zone. Couldn't even get it into the kick zone. They do need to fix the kicker situation. I know that. My prediction for the season was definitely off. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I think everybody's prediction for the season was off. We were high hopes, man. We were riding in off the NFC Championship game, and we got a great roster. But, it's been grueling. I mean, nobody expected all those crazy injuries, all the personal hardships, like, Charvarius Ward and Trent Williams and Ricky. But, yeah, no, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my record was right. I'm not going to make excuses. I was definitely wrong. I was so off. I had high hopes for this team, but they still fighting. 10-7's not too bad. So, adversity makes the team stronger. I agree. Play calling must improve. Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about that, because play calling was pretty good the other day. I'm not going to lie to you. I think this was the best game in terms of play calling all season. Kyle was in his bag, man. Kyle moved that ball effectively. You're on your third string running back, and you ran all over this team. And the Bears are a top 5 defense. Like, this is what I hate, these casual fans I see in the comments. Oh, it was the Bears. Well, it was the Bears. Yeah, I know they suck. I know they've been through a lot. I know their coach got fired. But their defensive coordinator is pretty good. And they had a top 5 defense. Niners crushed them. Kyle Shanahan was in his bag yesterday. It's okay to admit, even if you don't like the damn guy. Kyle was in his bag yesterday. Best play calling of all season by Kyle and Nick Sorensen, for that matter. Kudos to them. Kudos to them. And sometimes you need to play a team that's going through more trouble than you to get yourself right. You need a get-right game, and that absolutely was a get-right game for the Niners. But they got to keep that momentum going. You can't dwell on it. You can't celebrate this win too much because Thursday night, you got another game. More screenplays, I agree. I agree. Yeah, Chicago almost beat, you're right, the Packers, the Lions. They almost beat a lot of teams. Like, they lost a lot of close games. But after a while, it just catches up with you. So I don't think Chicago's record tells the true story of that team. But, yeah, it's nice to get that done. The Rams are on fire. We are a fan base full of 40-winers, says John. You're right. Rams are on fire. They are. You're right. The Rams are on fire. But you know what? 49ers are going to be the fire extinguishers. Because you know what? I acknowledge them, and I hope you guys do too. My man Roman Reigns got me fired up. And I believe that the 49ers are going to beat the Rams. I don't care how much heat they're coming into this. I don't care. I don't care that they beat the Bills. I don't care what Matt Stafford. Let's go beat the fucking 49ers. Oh, Matt Stafford crashing out. He's going to regret that. That's all I'm going to say. Niners, Levi Stadium. How many times have the Niners crushed the Rams over the last couple of years? Yeah, I know they got us a couple of weeks ago, a couple months ago. It's over, baby. We're going to turn that tide. We're not letting them sweep us, and I feel the 49ers are winning on Thursday night. The Rams are going to be our true test. It's going to be a test for sure. Again, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. This is going to be a very, very tough game, man. The Bills losing to the Rams was crazy, but I mean, I feel like the Rams, they might be a little overzealous or maybe a little worn out. I mean, to beat a team like the Bills, you got to play flawless, and they did. And now they might have crashed out after that game. We'll see though. This could be a tough one. This could be a classic. This might be cinema on Thursday night. I'm excited for this game. What's on with Deebo? What's the word on Deebo? Says Gulati. He just wants the ball more. Throw him the ball, man. He's talking to you like Keyshawn Johnson. Throw him the ball. He hasn't got more than 5 targets since week 2. That's what he wants. More opportunities. Let's see. Let's see if he can get the ball more and make the most of it, This is one thing I got to say, though. I mean, whatever your thoughts are on Deebo, I think he should just take his advice he gave to Jake Moody and lock in. Go out there and put the numbers up. Go get the job done, and nobody will ever say nothing about you. So it's been a rough season for him, man. It's been, he hasn't achieved the stats that he normally does. He hasn't produced, he's been crashing out on the special teams guys. It's been an up and down year for him, for sure. I think people have gotten upset at him. Niner fans, the media, people want to trade him. There's a lot. I'm sure it's an emotional season for him and a lot of guys. He's lost 2 Super Bowls now. I'm sure he's frustrated. So at the end of the day, he's just got to lock in now. Got to lock in. He's predictable. Yeah, maybe the play calling needs to get better for him. Giants type season. I feel like that's what's going to happen. Deebo can't get open and catch. Can't even do a jet sweep. Yeah, he's lost the explosiveness. I agree with that. But he always gets good against the Rams. So maybe this is the medicine he needs. So my man Julius says Mustafa and Hufanga, the next Whitner and Golson. I don't know if that will pump the brakes a little. But Mustafa for sure got a bright future. Yeah. Stop running him. Yeah, stop running him. I acknowledge you, Bilo. I acknowledge all the Niner fans. Y'all are my tribal council. Love y'all. What about Ward? What about Ward? He's gone through a lot this season, man. Just like Trent Williams. He had personal adversity. So just for him to be out there sometimes is like, wow, I can't believe he's even playing. So whether you think he's playing good or not, honestly, that's secondary to what he's had to go through. I feel like he wasn't horrible. He gave up one touchdown. Other than that, I felt like Ward was okay. But I don't know. He's going through a lot, man. So hopefully he can kind of clear that mind a little bit and lock it up on Thursday, because that's a big test, man. We got Puka and Cooper Kupp. Those guys are deadly, and they're both healthy together now. And you see like the full strength of this offense with both of those guys out there. So it's gonna be a tough one, man. What's up? How much we paying Purdy? I think these next couple of games are really gonna dictate that. Obviously, he's had a good career so far. But I don't know. There's still a lot to be talked about with the Purdy situation. And I said earlier, they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay him this offseason. They probably should. But there's a lot to talk about with the Purdy. I don't know. It's going to be determined in the next couple of weeks. I know they want to pay him. So. Do I think Bosa is playing? Man, I really hope so. We need him. They played good without. They played good without him this week, but I can't see that trend continuing. Like without Nick Bosa, you can't always expect this defense to go crazy. So, but they held it down for him. I really hope that Nick Bosa can play this weekend or this week on Thursday. If he doesn't, though, this is the other thing. If he doesn't, he's going to get an extra, week to recover, and he should be good for the next couple of games. But oblique injuries are tough, man. It's about pain management. So I don't know. We'll see. Time to give Jalen Moore some flowers. I agree, Julius. I said it last night on my stream. I said, look, Jalen Moore, I got to apologize to you. I acknowledge you, Jalen Moore. He's played good. Trent Williams has been out, ankle injury. He's got a lot of personal things going on as well. And Jalen Moore, I cried when I was like, oh, my God. But shout out to Jay Money, man. He's been really holding it down at that left tackle spot. I feel like he's played really good. And that's nice to know. Because if Trent Williams ever retires, I mean, I'm not going to say Jalen Moore is going to be able to play and replace his shoes, but we have serviceable guy until we can find like a just star left tackle. Because, I mean, Jalen Moore is good, but maybe he can move to the right side because he played good. Maybe he can shift over to the right side so they can go get another perennial all-pro left tackle. You need a good all-pro left tackle no matter what. So I do got to give him his flowers, man. Jalen Moore has been playing really well. Ben Barch as well. But unfortunately, as we talked about earlier, Ben Barch is injured. Sucks, man. He was playing really good, high ankle sprain. But I guess the silver lining in that is Aaron Banks is back from his concussion. Although I don't think Aaron Banks has played too well this season. So I think he gone. Let's play a little game. Before we're done, this is the last thing we'll do because the offseason's coming up in a couple of – who knows? If 49ers don't make the playoffs, we got to start thinking about these guys. Like, who's coming back? Aaron Banks? He gone. Talanoa Hufanga, he might not be gone, depending on how these next couple of weeks play. He kind of looked like he was their best safety out there other than Mustafa. Maybe they give him a one-year deal. Dre Greenlaw? I hope he's not gone. I kind of get – I don't know. That's why he needs to play, to kind of audition and put some film out there, just like Hufanga, depending on the Niners bring him back or not. Big injury. I don't think they could replace him with many people out there, but maybe the Niners go big, reach in their bag and pay a big linebacker out there. I don't know. That's another guy. I can't tell you if he's gone or not, but part of me tells me that Dre Greenlaw might not be back next season. I don't know. He needs to play, and the Niners need to see what he has left in the tank after that injury. So, Deebo Samule, he might be gone. Been a wild season for him. Maybe the 49ers try to move him, try to restructure him. George Kittle, you can't get rid of him. You can't get rid of him. If he doesn't retire, Niner, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. Kyle Juszczyk. Remember what happened to Arik Armstead last year? Javon Hargrave. He gone. He for sure is gone. He gone. Charvarius Ward. I think he's going to be gone. I think he's gone because I think Renardo Green, he's cheaper. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's not a matter of they don't want the guy anymore. It's a matter of we got to save a little bit of money. And Renardo Green's going to save you money because he's on a rookie contract, especially if they're going to pay Brock, right? If they want to pay Brock that big money, some of these guys aren't going to be there. So that's the big question. Kevin Givens, he gone. Drake Jackson, he gone. Robert Beal, he gone. Ronnie Bell, they're going to cut him and bring him back, practice squad. Yeah, don't make the same mistake they did with Aziz. I've been listening to too much Krug. I'm not me and him. We talk every week. It's not Krug. I got other people telling me things, but I don't know. You just telling you, man. I see it every year. You see it every year. This is gonna be a different off season. They can't keep everybody. Got to pay some people. Trenches need an overhaul. Yeah. Moody. Oh, he for sure better be gone. How do I think the special teams did? No, it didn't. It didn't improve. Colton Malkovich. Yeah, that boy needs to be gone too. But they signed him to an extension. He ain't going anywhere unless they cut him. Thoughts on BA? He gone. No, but I guarantee you, if they have an opportunity to trade him, they would at this point. But I don't think I gave him a big contract. They just better hope they're probably thinking he better just get healthy and come back. But I could still see them maybe at this point trading him. Hopefully Persal can take that next leap, but he needs to hit that weight room. Our defensive coordinator, he gone. I don't know. Go bring back Robert Salah. Go get Robert Salah. Get that energy back. Go get that energy back, man. Go get Bobby Salah back. Let him be a defensive coordinator. Give you the juice. The team would go crazy. Bring back Bob. Go crazy. Win a championship, and then anybody's going to hire you again for a head coach because he's probably not going to get a head coach job right off the bat. He needs to reprove himself. Go get Salah. So we'll see. We shall see. Anyways, Monday Night Football is coming up. My tribal chief, Roman Reigns. I think Roscoe. I got to go see if Roman Reigns. I'm going to go acknowledge him. Anyways, y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all again. Keep the faith. We got the Rams in a couple of days, man. I hope we win. I hope the Niners win because it feels good to win. If I want to have a victory Monday and a victory Friday in the same freaking week, man. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit that like button here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button, all that good stuff. You know how to do. Anyways, y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all. And last question. We got Bengals or Cowboys? I hope the Bengals win. I don't want to see the Cowboys win tonight. I'm rooting for Joe Burrow and his crazy outfit he wore tonight. You know that man got a freaking Batmobile. So we'll see. Y'all have a good one. Go Niners. Bang, bang. 10-7 gang. Go, baby. Niners 10-7. Enjoy it. Oh, I didn't end it.